Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to Pure Live. It is Friday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, and you are exactly where you're supposed to be. Thank you for joining us. We're going to have a special episode today. We're going to talk about something very interesting, and we're going to have a conversation with somebody close to me, very dear to me. And when you see him, you'll see how close. But for those of you that have seen the show before, you know what's up. You know we start off with our sponsors. So first and foremost, I told you guys before that we boss ladies have rebranded, right? We are now called Dreamers. And Dreamers is going to have an event soon. Yes, it is. Look at that. Look at that. So this event will be coming up soon. What I want you guys to do is I want you to go here. You see this at the bottom? dreamersnetwork.eventbrite.com. Go there and sign up for this event immediately. It is going to be for November 20th at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. And the reason I'm telling you, you need to sign up immediately because this stuff gets sold out right away. We ain't playing no games, fam. So sign up right away. Dreamersnetwork.eventbrite.com. All right. And we are going to go to poshwomen'sapparel.com. Classy, sophisticated, and stylish. You guys already know I have rocked a lot of these outfits since I've been on the show. Bam, 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 bam. Hey. So if you want to go ahead and go to poshwomen'sapparel.com, you can go on there and you can actually get 10% off if you use my name. So here we go. poshwomen'sapparel.com, and there's the code Asia, ASIA. You're welcome. Also, Abella Eyewear. So you see me rock my shades and my blue blockers. Aren't they stylish? So if you guys go to my website, asiajamal.com or asiajamal.net. Sorry, I selected the wrong thing. If you go at the top, you'll see Abella Eyewear, and you will actually get 30% off. So again, you're welcome. All right. Also, we got Cuts by Nate. And my boys only go to Nate. Okay. They won't go anywhere else because he's cold with it. He knows how to cut hair the way it's supposed to be done. You understand? That's my son right there. That's my other son right there. He says, I'm not going anywhere else. All right, so that's Cuts by Nate. Now we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about something very serious. We are going to talk about how the pandemic has affected our young people. We've talked a lot about the adults. So help me welcome Christian Stephen Walker.
Hi.
Hey, hello. Just in case y'all don't see the
Hello.
resemblance, that's my son. Hello, young man. And for those of you that have comments and questions, please feel free. Ask him questions, ask whatever. You have comments, whatever you have, we will pay attention. Don't act crazy, and then I will post it. So the reason that I brought my son on today to talk about how the pandemic has affected him is because my son has actually been involved in so many different things. So first of all, I'm going to let him introduce himself and then I'll brag on him.
Oh, okay.
So, and forgive me, you guys, if I sneeze and sniffle. I don't know if it's my allergies or I got a little cold or what's going on, but please bear with me. So, Christian, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Um, yeah, I'm Christian Walker. I'm a junior. I go to Morton. I would consider myself an athlete. I do cross country. I'm doing music production, learning how to do it, get better at it, and I'm also playing piano and stuff. Oh, and I dance and sing.
Yes. The Hey
All the
Mini
cool stuff.
Me. That's Elijah. That is my brother down there talking about Hey Mini Me. And the reason is
Hey, future
because
self.
they look so much alike, it's ridiculous. So I want to give you guys just a small taste of my son's talents. Here we go. Awesome. So proud of you. Who did the effects for your video, Christian?
Um, well, yours truly crowned one.
All right. Yes, he does call himself the crowned one because I decided to tell him what his middle name meant and he ran with it. But
Mm,
so he is on royalty, according to him. No, he is. He is. Not just a royal pain in the butt, I promise. Um, Christian, first, I'd like
mhm.
you to tell everybody what you are studying in school.
Um, I'm doing radio and TV broadcasting, or production rather.
And so you
Um,
guys,
it's
uh,
a dual credit program though.
exactly. That's what I was getting at. So you understand he is in a dual credit program, which means although he's a junior in high school, he is also accumulating credits for college. He is also an honor student. He is a principal scholar. I'm a proud mommy. Okay. He's a good kid. He's a good kid. So, what I want to get into is so we understand that the pandemic really hit home early 2020, and that it changed the lives of everybody.
March
And
17th.
oh wow, he's very specific. Um,
Mm.
and I think people don't understand how it affected the children. So one of the things that happened first is that the children were instructed to do classes at home. Um, Not everybody had the electronics that were necessary. Some of the people had to borrow some what you call them.
Chromebook?
Uh, yes, there we go. Chromebooks from I will stuff. So whatever. Well, they had to borrow some of the Chromebooks from the schools, and it was very challenging for so many children. Christian didn't struggle as much with that, but he did notice some very drastic changes in regards to how school was done. Will you explain to everyone, please, how things changed?
Um, well, first, like the main thing, like the main thing, it was the lessons. The lessons definitely changed, like the way they were structured. They were shorter and more dependent on like the assignment that they would give. So, not gonna call any names, but my math teacher, um, so his class was originally structured a bit differently, and when COVID hit, he had to make it so that his lectures were recorded because he had a smaller amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
So um, it was like, yeah, we pretty much had to look up a lot of the stuff if we didn't understand it. He did explain it the best he could, which he did awesome at. But yeah, after, you know, the structure being changed, that wasn't all because there was like a lot of technical difficulties. Not necessarily on my end, but on teachers, on other students who didn't have as clear Wi-Fi or their devices were acting up. Um, see. That's pretty much it. You know, like the way the classes were run definitely changed, and then the Wi-Fi and stuff. Also,
Mhm.
choir was really boring.
So what I wanted to know is, I know that school is a lot easier for you than other people, because of the way that you are. But from what you witnessed, how did things change for the other students? What kind of challenges did you witness?
Um, so the very first I noticed was the lack of motivation. So
Hmm.
so the students, would show up for attendance, but that was about it. They wouldn't respond to the teachers. They would log on and then they'll go to like their living room or something, go play video games, maybe check back in every now and then. They wouldn't actually get much work done. Um, and I think, well, yeah, I did actually talk to a few. It was because, the stress of, the technical difficulties and then being far away, have, having it so that teachers aren't, there with the face-to-face contact,
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Not readily
so
available.
yeah, it was hard. It was definitely hard to communicate, even like through chat or through voice, because it's a bunch of students doing it or trying to all at once. So a lot of people got stressed out and just lost the motivation.
Mm. Do
Yeah.
you think that the standards of schooling has changed because of the effects of COVID, the pandemic?
Oh, yeah, it changed a lot. Like the way our school was before, like how to graduate and everything.
Mhm.
Um, it was very standard. You could say, you had to pass the standardized test. You had to make sure you had the good score. But right after, well, we're still in COVID. Right after we decided to, go to physical school, they made a lot of changes to accommodate to the things that they were complaining about during the virtual school. Like there's now different ways to graduate. Of course,
Mhm.
there's the standard way you get your 40 credits, you have a decent GPA, you take a test, and then there's like other pathways. I didn't like want to memorize them because it was boring. It's boring lecture. But
Okay.
there's many different ways to graduate now. Teachers' expectation also kind of changed. They're very, well, more lenient. A
Mhm.
lot more actually. Um, there's also no more homework. Um,
No
really
more
weird.
homework.
Yeah, we don't get homework anymore. We just get schoolwork because yeah, that makes the most sense.
So how are they able to gauge whether or not um, how are they able to gauge whether or not you have actually grasped what you were taught?
Um, so with most of the teachers, I don't know about all, but like mine,
Mm.
um, they'll give us weekly or biweekly tests to make sure that we understand the material.
Okay.
Um, I don't necessarily know what others are doing, but we pretty much would get like these tests on the last chapter or last subject we were just talking about to make sure that we
Mhm.
understand it. So we just get more tests.
Did
Yeah.
anybody in your previous classes flunk out during COVID classes when you guys were still virtual?
Um, so virtual, the like everyone was being very lenient. Like the whole board, the school board, they were being very lenient. So I don't know if anyone flunked out. Do I know if some should have? Yes. I know that I had a lot of associates. I'm not going to call them friends because, yeah, but associates who pretty much failed. Um, I also did a lot of homework and it wasn't mine. So, yeah.
Are you saying you
Uh,
did assignments for other people?
so I didn't want people to fail. Um, and they were like, well, I don't pay attention to class. I don't want to. This virtual crap isn't for me. And I was like, You're gonna do your homework though. I mean, you can look it up on Google, you can look up the answers or whatever. And they were like, "Nah, I'm cool." And I was like, "So I'll just do it for you and prevent you from failing at least a little bit." So I did a lot of people's assignments.
Wow, that's deep. Um,
Yeah.
well, one of the things that I noticed in regards to, I'll say, one of your siblings, because everybody has their own ways of learning. Not everybody can learn the same way. Some things that are easy for the crown one Christian um, are very challenging for others because some people learn better in person and able to, readily ask questions for the teacher. And this particular person that I'm talking about was in danger of failing. And I had to work as hard as I could to assist in making sure that that didn't happen. But the only way I was able to do that was because I was working from home, which was still challenging because I had meetings and things like that, which you knew. Uh, and so other people, other parents, were not in the same situation I was in. That being said, with the students that you decided to help or the people that were having a hard time, did they have challenges at home or were they just deciding, look, I just can't handle this?
Um, so I know some did. There was one in particular who had other family issues. I don't want to get into the personal info, but there were
Yeah,
things
no,
that went on
understandable.
there. Also, they were in the ACCU program, which means that you go to ACC and start your dual credits and all that from freshman year. So they had a lot more work than I did.
Hmm.
Um, they decided to do, uh, I think it was being a nurse or something. So they had like a lot of work. And that became very overwhelming for that particular person. And yeah, then they were also trying to work. They actually had the same job as me when we were working at McDonald's. That kind of added on to that person's stress. And yeah, so I would say that that definitely does happen and did happen.
So, one of the things that you actually didn't mention is prior to this whole thing going down, you were actually somebody that was involved in sports. So, when everything was taken in house and you had to do everything inside, and you ended up working for McDonald's, that was so cute. I love that. Anyway, when you ended up doing that and you weren't able to participate in school the way that you wanted to, how did that affect you? How did that affect your everyday life? Did it bother you
That I couldn't do sports.
that you couldn't do sports and other outgoing activities that you were doing before in your school?
Um, so see, here's the thing. I'm not much of a people person. I can be alone all the time. So not having human interaction isn't too much of a problem. But um, as far as like being able to go out and participate in like maybe some sports or the extracurricular activities, which they were definitely enjoyable. I would say I didn't like it at first, um, but I decided to kind of adapt. So instead of being able to run cross country, I would um, actually go ahead and run a 5K on my own. And I tried to do that every day, um, or every other day, depending on how bad my legs were feeling. Um, and like if I felt like I was lacking in any of those activities, I would try to pick up on those in home. I would try to run. I remembered that I did weightlifting, so I asked my stepdad or yeah, my dad to help and had him help me with that. So now I'm able to do that. Um, yeah, it was kind of, I guess, a little rough at first. but I did get used to it.
Okay. Were your so I don't know how close you were with the other people that you were um in those activities with. Did they handle things as well as you did?
Um, so I actually didn't find out about how they were doing because we didn't necessarily keep in contact. I didn't find out until we went back to school and I saw them. It was like, "Hey, how you been doing?" But yeah, from what I heard, they were doing okay. A lot of things changed with our coach. Not something I want to get into, but there was, you could say, a change in management. Um,
Okay.
but other than that, they were all okay.
So first of all, I want to say to you guys, ladies and gentlemen, the reason that I called the show "Out of the Mouths of Babes," there is more to all of this than what I'm talking about. I'm giving you the soft side first. After the break, if you guys know about the show, we do have a break, and then we do the find the fake. Um, After all of that, we're going to get into some deeper things that we had conversations about. Right now, what I want to do is, handle the changes that happened in regards to the pandemic, how it affected the lives of the children. Um, I have Christian with me, but I have more than Christian. I have a few children, believe it or not. Um, some of y'all are like, "Girl, stop playing." I can tell you got kids. No. So Christian, with your siblings, and I know that you handle school and well, pretty much life differently than your siblings do. Did you find that this change of pace, the change of how things are handled, did you find that this was challenging for your siblings?
Um, yeah, it was very challenging for both of them. Especially my younger brother. He he struggled with focusing. That was really hard for him. Um, which I could understand. I mean, you're at a Chromebook staring at a teacher all day. Who wants to do that? So he did struggle with that, and then our sister pretty much struggled with the same things. They didn't like having to just sit there and stare at this person talking to them through a screen. Um, and then when it came to work, they didn't want to do it at all. Yeah, they just didn't find that motivation to do it, you know? So yeah,
Yeah,
it was definitely rough for them.
yeah, it was. And you guys understand in regards to his siblings, my children. Um, it wasn't always that they didn't want to do it. They didn't want to do it because they found it challenging. They didn't understand the work. And when you're dealing with so imagine that this show is a classroom, right?
Oh
I'm
dear.
and I'm telling you guys all about whatever subject, right? We're dealing with this particular subject. We're dealing with COVID. And I tell you at the end of the show, I'd like you guys to take a test. And then after the test, I will like assignments done. How many assignments? 4 assignments done after the show. And are we talking about like a few questions each assignment? No, each assignment, one assignment is going to be an essay. One of the other assignments is going to have 50 questions. Another assignment is going to be mathematics and it will have 70 questions. And another one is going to be about comprehension.
So, I just gotta know, how many people do you expect to do that?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what happened with the children. Um,
Oh, that's what their assignments were?
that is the
Oh,
kind of
poor
stuff that
them.
they were dealing with.
I
Yeah.
had only a fraction.
Yeah. Christian's work was not as challenging, but it was challenging. So here's the thing. Christian's work, so his mindset and correct me if I'm wrong, his mindset, he was actually doing assignments throughout the day. So while he is sitting in class, he's already working stuff out. So by the time school is over with, he may or may not have some assignments left over, but most of the time he did not. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's pretty much correct.
Yeah. We don't have a world full of Christian. Okay. He is not the average. He is not the norm.
I
But
mean, it's
what
better to get the assignments done early though. So that's what I was thinking. It was like if I wait until 2:30, which is when everything ended, and I sit here and I try to do all these tests and assignments that they just assigned to me. Mind you, I have 8 classes. That's 8 classes that I'm going to every single day. So it's 8 different assignments, and I was just like, pass. I'm not doing that after 2:30. Um, the second I saw the notification, I would go and do it because if I didn't do it then, I already knew in my soul that I'm not doing it after school.
you
There's
said in
no
your soul.
working after school. See, because what they told me was there wasn't supposed to be homework, so I made sure I didn't have it.
Okay. So we are about to take a break, but when we come back, you guys, you seriously, you don't want to go away because we're going to deal with the more serious topics of what went down with the pandemic, how it affected the children, how it affected Christian, and what his viewpoint on it is. So don't go away. But this is your time to go grab your water, your tea, whatever it is that you like. And then you're going to come back. We're going to take our break. We are going to do our find the fake. So pay attention. Okay. And for those of you that are on here via YouTube, this is what I want you to do. Thank you. Subscribe. Okay. And please like as well if you want to hear different topics or you want to know more about the show. First of all, subscribing is the next step. That's the first step. Liking, next step. But if you would like to hear about other topics and there are other things that you want to get involved with, or you want to be on the show yourself, you can go to Asia at asiajamal.com. Again, that is Asia at asiajamal.com. And I respond to you. That is actually the email address that I respond to, I promise you. All right. Okay, great. So we're going to take this break. I see there's a question. We're going to deal with that question as soon as we come back. Here we go. Asia Jamal Rogers, and I'm a singer, songwriter, choreographer, voice actor, and I'm the creator and talk show host of P.U.R.E Live. P.U.R.E is an acronym for perfectly undefined raw elegance. So naturally, we want our content to be pure, raw, and elegant. It airs live every Friday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on YouTube and Facebook. And if you'd like to see all of the episodes, you can reach it at asiajamal.com, ASIAJAMAL.com. Or if you'd like to be on the show, you can reach me at asia@asiajamal.com. Hope to see you soon. Hope to see you soon. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready for the game Find the Fake. Pay close attention to everything that is stated. The object of the game is you are to look at all the things that are stated. And there are 3 statements that are true and 1 statement that is fake. You are to let us know which one is fake. By the way, all of these answers are timestamped. So you don't get to watch the whole entire show and then answer, I know the fake. No. Okay. Okay, so here we go. All right, ladies and gents, you have time. Go ahead and put your answers in there, whatever it is that you think is the fake, and you can win a prize. All right, here we go. So we have a question here. He said, I say D. We shall see. Okay. Says, now that y'all back in school, how are they teaching? Since some kids didn't learn at the same rate.
Mm. So they actually kind of just tried to resume things. They just kind of so they tried to make it so that they started off with like a review of what they did last year,
Mm-hmm.
and then they would go ahead and move forward. They didn't necessarily do anything special. At least for my high school, which is a very special high school. Special in the head. Anyway, uh yeah, they basically just tried to resume. They didn't really want to change too much other than everything that they messed up. But you know, the structure of the learning is still the same.
Okay. All right. We are going to get into some more serious topics, but I do have one question for you, son.
Oh,
Are you concerned that because of the children that fell behind, that you will not have all of the academics that you need to be successful when you go over to college, seeing that you are a junior in high school?
so I fear not. One, because I ain't letting none of that stop me anyway.
All right.
Um, Two, um, I'm a smart kid. I figure it out.
Okay, smart kid. Okay, so let's get to the nitty gritty. First, let's talk about the very beginning when you heard there's a pandemic, there's COVID 19, and this thing is killing people. We had a whole lockdown. How did it make you feel?
Initially, I didn't actually know what was going on. The date was March 17th when everything was like locked down for, where we are for our high school and everything. I
Hmm.
didn't really understand what was going on. Um, I didn't really have a feeling until after 2 weeks, which is when we were promised to go back to school. They were like, yeah, we can't go back. And that's when it was like, oh my gosh, this is real. So I was definitely shocked. Um, it really did take me by surprise. And at first, because of how things were and how sudden everything was, everybody was just trying to kind of like put stuff together, and then there's people raiding for toilet paper. Why toilet paper? Yeah, they took all of the toilet paper and people were going crazy in markets. And then
Mhm.
there were some weirdos who thought not wearing a mask was safe. Anyway, with all of that, it it definitely kind of like had me thinking like, what on earth is going on? I kind of had to sit back and process. So
Yeah.
it took me a minute.
Yeah. Now the crazy thing that we all actually had to sit down and talk about is during that time, we also had the situation that prompted the launch of Black Lives Matter. Those and I'm not saying that the organization started at the time. What I'm saying is that the movement started at that time. The marches, were amplified at that time. So now we're in the situation. Okay, so at this point in time, let's take it back. You're being told there's a pandemic. You're being told there's a lockdown. You're being told you have to wear a mask. You're being told there are cops shooting people. Let's be specific. There are cops shooting minorities for no apparent reason. And when that went down, we had a talk, correct?
Hmm.
And when I spoke to you, one of the things that you like to do is go running. What do you like to run in?
My lovely trusty hoodie.
Yeah, yeah. My son likes to wear a hoodie everywhere, all the time, all day, every day. And I had to sit him down and tell him, son, and it was because of the timing. He had to do this before school. So I told him, son, I don't want you going jogging. I don't want you going running with a hood on. If you're going to wear a hoodie, I want the hood off. I want you to be visible, be less threatening, and preferably when it's not dark. And when I had this breakdown with you and explained all these things to you and explained to you what was going on, so it's like pandemic, people getting shot. I can't wear what I want to wear. Uh, being arrested and shot while black. What were the emotions that were going on with you?
Um, so actually, kind of like before you sat me down and talked about it, I heard about it,
Hmm.
the shootings and all that, and the crazy rioting. But I wasn't necessarily bothered by it yet, because, it didn't necessarily affect me directly yet. And I was just like, I'm at home. I'm a house cat. And I it just didn't reach me. And then when you sat me down and talked to me, I was like, oh, okay, well, this is real. Um, this does affect me. And I wouldn't say I was scared, but I was definitely trying like more cautious. It was a little worrying when I would see like a cop car pass by. It was like, oh, please don't come for me. I didn't do anything. So that was just a little worry. Um, Also like some of the things that I would normally go on, like games or like TV shows, the channels, the streaming stuff, there was like a bunch of Black Lives Matter stuff, bunch of news about what happened. Um, it actually even reached the games, actually. There was a bunch of campaigns for it all over the games in the gaming community. And that's when it was like, real. And um I wasn't afraid, but kind of like stressed out by it. It was just like, why? It doesn't have to be like this. Because it's like, we're people. You people, be people. You know, I don't care if you're green, red, white, yellow, purple, or some off white. It doesn't matter to me. You're people, we're people. So in my mind, it's just like, why? And I didn't understand that, and I definitely didn't understand the violence. So that definitely just kind of stressed me out.
Yeah. How did you feel when I told you that the reason that I was concerned about how you dressed or when you went out to go jogging that it presented a threat and can cause your life to be in danger? How did that make you feel?
Um, I was I was like just like, what? It's a hoodie. It's a hoodie at nighttime. It's dark. There's no sunlight, so it's cold. Of course, I'm gonna have on a hoodie. If they pull me over for this makes no sense. So it's kind of confusing. It's like it's seriously just a hoodie. I don't see what a hoodie could present. Like, there's no danger to it. Um, and then you said at nighttime or when it's dark, because I did it like very early in the morning. Um, I was just like, why does the time of day matter? Like, shoot, I can be doing something stupid in daytime too. Um, and that's when it's just like, this doesn't make any sense. Um, yeah, it just made me more upset, if anything else.
Yeah. And you said that it reached the games and the movements and everything that you saw. You, I remember sitting you all down and letting you see the videos of what was going down. When you saw all these people that were being killed, all these people that were being treated the way that they were being treated, on top of the fact that we were dealing with this pandemic. So it's like we're getting killed by this virus out here, and we're getting killed by uh, other people just because we're black. And what did this whole situation make you feel? Did it change your train of thought?
Um, I wouldn't say it necessarily changed my train of thought, but more like enhanced it because the way I was thinking before kind of remained the same, but it made it more like the way I think more what's the word? Stronger, like I kind of emphasize on it more. Um
Mm.
so when this all went down, it was just like, what's going on? Listen, we're people. We're all people. We're all in this together. We're on the same earth. We don't need to be doing this. We don't need to be arguing about whether or not masks are safe. If they said, "Hey, this has a chance of preventing it," just take the chance that it doesn't kill you, okay? Um, when I heard about the Black Lives Matters thing, I mean, it was just like, now you chose to do this now. Wow, while somebody can cough at you and you go die later. It genuinely just made me mad because it didn't make sense to me. It was like, but why? There was um I just felt like there was no reason for it, you know.
Can you expound on what you're saying that it is? What made you mad? What are you saying there's no reason for?
the killing, the weird conspiracies, blaming Asians for something they didn't intentionally do, if they did at all. Um, the just the racism, all of that. It made no sense. Why do it? Why do it if we got to live with each other? Like, it doesn't make sense at all. Like, we went down this route before, it didn't do us any good. And I mean, I get that, hey, the pandemic is new, but it would go easier if everyone was like, all right, we don't want to get affected by this because I believe down in my soul, all right, that no one wants to get sick and no one wants to catch a super flu. That's what I've always called it because that's what it feels like. Um, I've never caught it myself, but based off the symptoms and stuff and the death rate, I called it the super flu. And it was like, if you don't want to catch it, and some of the solutions they're providing is, hey, wear a mask. We're coming out with the vaccine. Take this. This will make it so that certain strands don't get to you.
Hmm.
Don't come up with conspiracy theorists or theories. It didn't make much sense to me, especially when they came out with the chimp. implantings. I don't want to diminish anybody, but like, I don't think anybody is so important that they want to insert a chip into your shoulder or your mask. Like, it's not that serious. We walk around with technology all the time. They can track us whenever they want. Um,
Good
they
point.
pretty much already have us from the street cameras and all that stuff. So my thought was just
Our
like, hey,
phones.
why?
Yeah.
Just we're fine. Okay, we're fine if we all just stick together.
Yeah.
I just wanted people to stick together. I still do.
Yeah. Agreed. And you guys, we are running low on time. So if you have any questions, if you have any comments, please feel free to bring them up at the time. So I'm going to bring something that may be a little sensitive. Um, so I myself went to the hospital. I did a show on the whole experience, and they told me I had COVID at the hospital. I had to stay away from my children. And you guys, I have not talked to you guys about how my family is. We are so affectionate. We are touchy feely. Every time I walk in the door, I get hugs from everybody. You know, before we go to bed, mommy, I want a hug and a kiss. This is what my children are like. They do this with me and my husband. This is something that happens every day. So when I came home and I had to tell my children, even before I came home and I had to tell my children, yeah, the hospital is telling me I have COVID. Uh, Before I got home, I didn't know what my condition was going to be because I had trouble breathing. They were trying to control it. I had asthma prior to then, but it was very, very well controlled. After that, it was a whole nother story. So I'm bringing it up to say, how did it make you feel to find out that I was in that condition?
Um, I was very, very, very worried for you because you had asthma and I didn't want it to like choke you out or something. The idea that you would just like struggle with your breathing to the point that you would cease to be was very frightening for me. So that was definitely very scary for me.
Yeah. So what did you do to kind of deal with that fear? How did you handle it?
Um, I prayed and checked on you a lot and
Mm.
made a bunch of jokes to lighten the load.
Mhm. Yes, you did. We are all goofy, by the way. My entire family. From my parents on down, we are all goofy people. We know how to make each other laugh. We know how we know when we have to just, listen or, show that compassion. But we also recognize sometimes you need to you need to laugh, you need to have fun to get your mind off of things. And thankfully, Christian is that kind of person. He is such a blessing. Um, he,
Oh, how
he
adorable.
is. He is. I'm trying not to be emotional, because you guys just don't understand. This is my firstborn, and the things he's endured, things that he's had to help me with, even before I had the wonderful husband that I have. Um, he's had to man up in times that he shouldn't have had to. So I appreciate you, Christian. I really do. And when this pandemic went down, and now I do have my husband, you still did what I needed you to do to help with your sibling. So I thank you and I appreciate you.
Oh, and just doing normal sunly things, I think. Yeah.
Nope, not normal. Um, so thank you so much for that. I'm sorry, I try not to be emotional. Okay. Um, so Christian, what is your hope in regards to your future, knowing that all this stuff is going on? Even though the Black Lives Matter thing is not as huge as it was before, the things that caused it to happen, to go into action, those things are still happening. Um, COVID is still happening. We're finding different variants that are happening. Um, if Christian Walker was able to make a wish or make more than one wish, um, what would those things be?
Oh, ah, that is a really, really tough question
Thank
because,
you, because I'm good at
um,
this one.
okay. Um, there's a lot that has been going on and that is going on. Even things that are a little bit more minor that I found out about, like just a bunch of disagreements, my bad, between, like females and the male genders and thing like roles that they're actually supposed to play. Um, um, I just would wish for everyone to try to get along, just make that effort instead of waking up and deciding, hey, I'm gonna go on social media and say some BS about this, or I'm gonna go put this out there. I would wish people would try to put more positive things out there. I wish people would try to connect more because I feel like that in itself would be the solution to pretty much everything. I mean, like, if I get along with my neighbor, we're gonna have a great relationship. We're gonna be just fine. If I get along with my neighbor and everyone on that block, we're gonna be just fine. So yeah, I just wish that everyone would have that same idea and try to get along.
Yeah, me too. Me too, son. Because, you know, there are so many memes that have been out there, and one of the memes that were out there, and I don't think you know too much about the story. One of the memes though is, "Can we all just get along?" I believe says Rodney King, and people make fun of this statement and make it a meme, but if we all could just get along, all of this stuff would have worked out better. We had situations with this pandemic where people were like, "You are violating my rights." Okay, violating your right to die, violating your right to kill. Which rights are we talking about here? Because you make no sense. We had people that were talking about, you know, oh, this guy, there's no way that he makes this much money. This black guy, he has to be stealing. He has to be. Really, really. Oh, what? You found out that he makes more money than you? Oh, he owns his own company. Get out of here. All of these things that are going on. Shout out to Darman. Uh, just so you know, I don't know that man at all. I just started watching his videos, and that's man Mann Dar man Mann. I've been watching those videos, so I will say I will recommend that you might change some of the endings because they're a little corny. But the stories
King of
are,
corny.
yeah, the
King of
stories
corny.
the stories and the messages are excellent. And these messages that they're pretty much letting us know it's a reflection on ourselves. It's letting us know, if you would only just look a little past yourself, if you would only just look a little deeper and do what's best for everybody, not just yourself, this world will be a better place. And that seems to be the overall message, you know. And if all of us together said, you know what, this is a horrible situation. We don't want to be in this too long. Let's not make this a political thing. Let's not make this a situation where we're fighting each other. Let's all work together to do what's best for this country. You know, let's recognize that just because your color is different doesn't mean that you're less than me. That you have something to offer as I have something to offer. These are things that we need to recognize, that we need to learn. And I am so grateful that my son is wise enough to recognize these things. I feel like I've done a good job. But I also recognize it wasn't just me that raised him. God had every part in raising him and making sure that he's the young man that he is today.
It's just
Um,
common sense, you know? I know it's
yeah,
not so common, but it's just
I'm
common
gonna
sense.
say common sense seems to not be so common. So maybe it's not common sense. I don't know. I don't know. It's getting late, so I'm gonna run that because you special individuals need for the find the fake to be played more than once. So I'm gonna play it one more time and then Christian is gonna tell you which one is the fake. Here we go. All right, Christian, tell.
Mhm.
Felix says I still say D. Tell ladies and gentlemen which one is the fake.
I actually do not play basketball. If you give me a ball and tell me to shoot it, and you told me that my life depends on it, you better go pick up my coffin. I can't play basketball. Um, Something about shooting that ball, I always airball, and I do it in the worst way possible. I shoot over the hoop, actually. I don't make it to. And some people say, "Hey, use the backboard." Yeah, it bounces back at my face. Um, I don't play basketball.
He does not play basketball. What is so funny? So first of all, my son is not very tall. However, I am shorter than he is. I am a whole 5'2". Guess who's better at shooting baskets?
Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
you know,
Some black people don't have the shooting gene, and that just happens to be me.
he said we will work on that nephew. Yeah, you work on that. But y'all just bring it. How about that? No, wait, I changed my mind because my little brother over there, uh, he actually plays basketball for exercise. I'm just kidding. I just kidding. No,
You know what I
but
do for exercise? I don't play basketball. That's what I don't. That's what I do for exercise. It's not basketball.
yeah, it's not basketball, but your uncle, that's what he does for exercise. That's not the only thing he does. That's what he does for exercise. So I'm not challenging both of y'all. I just want to make that clear. But yeah, he helps you play basketball. I'm willing to come on, bring it. I'm just saying.
Uh,
And Christian's like, yeah, whatever. Um, so it is 10 o'clock, you guys. It is the end of the show. First, I want to thank my son for being a part of this episode. Thank you so much. And
Welcome.
I value your opinion. I appreciate all that you do. Thank you so much for being such a great and wonderful son. Thank you for being a good student. There's so many things I can thank you for. We ain't even got time for it. But you're
Okay.
awesome. You're awesome. You're awesome. You're awesome.
I'm proud of them, of
So,
course I am. It's part of being royalty.
oh my gosh. See what I
Yes.
did? See what I did, people?
Yeah.
So he is on TikTok. And what's your name on TikTok?
I don't know. What is it? I have no idea. I have a TikTok? That's a TikTok.
Bruh.
Okay. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's Crowned One, but I think the news are
Crowned
deleted.
One. Just like I told you guys before, it is Crowned One. So if you could go on TikTok, for those of you that are on, I know not everybody is on, but go on Crowned One on TikTok and show your support, please, and thank you. TikTok, Crowned One.
I would prefer you go to my YouTube. Oh, yeah.
What I say?
Oh, okay.
But anyway, he's Crowned One everywhere. If you just type in Crowned One, you're gonna find him. And that's
Well,
a
my
fact.
YouTube is Prince Artemio.
See, this is why I said TikTok. But he'll have his YouTube information on his TikTok. I'm gonna help him with that. He already knows how to do that. I don't have to help him with nothing. Anyway, so thank you guys. Remember to embrace God's perfect design, which is you. And be here next week, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on Friday. We have so many awesome shows coming up. We've been doing the doggone thing. We got some great guests. You guys already know. But we have some really great things coming up. So Friday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'll see you then. Bye.